All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. I really was not planning on making another weed sector video, but clearly big day today, all right? And, we were talking about it on the Discord all day, and I kind of want to share some of these thoughts before I get into the technicals and all that, all right? But look, earlier this morning, obviously even before my 9 a.m. comment, don't get me wrong, but I couldn't find any news, and neither could other people. And all of a sudden there were a couple comments. You can literally see this one. It's just people buying before the news, and to me, I don't think that's what this is. Believe me, I'm sure you can find other videos out there that are going to say reschedulization is coming, or like this or that. Someone knows something, this or that, right? Look, to me, there were technical movements here. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's a squeeze or anything like that. It's just a movement. And he asked me on every ticker, and truth be told, when I see no news, I just assume technical moves. And look, the technical moves weren't that bad. I often talk about channels, right? And the distance from there to there was okay. The distance from there to there was okay. Red along the way, right? I think CGC was a louder one. Get over the 8 and the 20, you're gonna go all the way up to the 50, right? Even just waiting for that resistance to break, going from down here to up there was actually most of the ride as well, right? So interesting little move right here. I've definitely been a little hesitant on these stocks, right? And the echo of this video is going to be today was amazing. All right, clearly today was amazing. We saw double-digit days. We saw Tilray go from well under that 162 line to all of a sudden in the 170s, right? Like there was a lot of good. Literally, MSOS all of a sudden is now over the 100 moving average, right? And I'll look into all the tickers in the ETF, and someone wanted me to look at Green Thumb as well. SNDL, ACB. There's a lot of big candles on today's action, right? I didn't really see anything big. The one news that was shared here was this, and you can see it was several hours later, right? I've always said I want more publications to post things. Obviously, Marijuana Moment is going to say a bunch of stuff, and it's going to generally be positive, and they're always looking for more news than there is. But this, if true, is actually really big. So I read the little article, like headline summary thing here, right? And essentially, there was a delay in Ireland. They wanted more studies. All of a sudden, the studies came out, right? They published an interim report, and they're calling for changes such as limited legalization, decriminalization, and then click in for more, right? So awesome story, awesome big country story. I don't really know what's happening with Germany. I really would love to know if anyone knows there. Like, Germany's been legal for a while. Like, what's the revenue look like? What's the tax coming into the country? Like, are they using the money well? Are they happy with it? All that sort of stuff, right? But hey, one thing we were hoping for is Germany snowballs into other European countries, which bleeds out into different nations and different continents and this and that, right? So I like this. I would love it if like a Bloomberg picked this up, if like a Yahoo Finance pick it up, if something a little more neutral and unbiased. Obviously, this is a little bit of an unbiased publication, right? But took several hours to find the news. Let us know if there was anything else that you might have found that we couldn't, right? But overall, my opinion on this video is going to be twofold. Most of this was a technical move on a big volume, all right? The question is, are we going to confirm, or are we just going to go back down, all right? So, that was a lot longer of an intro than I normally do, but before we do go any further, though, and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. I just bumped into something. Sorry, my jar was too close. What was I? Yeah, dude, subscribe, share, like, you know, all that stuff. Let's get into this. This was an interesting day here, all right? And I think I'm gonna chapter this more than likely on all of them because they're all kind of the same thoughts. One thing I mentioned a couple of videos ago was I thought high tide was a bullish outlier. One thing I'm gonna try to do is find the bullish outlier on this and be a little bit loud. And this is an interesting one because there's a couple different ways to view it. Because again, I think the common theme is going to be we need confirmation. All right. So again, I'm going to fly through all the tickers really quickly and then I'll start explaining my thoughts. But look, starting with Tilray, we were one resistance line away from all-time low line. All right, this is the red death line. We were definitely under this line, but look at it. We never confirm. That's a scary red candle. That's not confirmation. That's a scary red candle. That's not confirmation. I probably should have started there. All of those were dojis. None of those count. All of a sudden, that's a real big, interesting candle right back over that line. And again, we've talked about the length and the history and the strength of support. Can we maybe do it again? Oh my goodness, right? So kudos to that line and a big emphasis on why we wait for confirmation, right? Looking at CGC, again, look at this thing, right? It's funny. I like to give Mr. Onion a little bit of grief. Weed dead. Can I find it like that? Nope. Let's do it like that. Okay, it was not that long ago. It was on 1010 where literally writes all of that. I sincerely agreed with it. All of a sudden, literally not that many days after, where was it? It was literally the day after he goes to say it's positive, looks like a buy here. Interesting on CGC. Lo and behold, that 1011 was actually a pretty good call, and you can see the uptrend and today, right? But there are times when, hey, opinions change and this and that, and the technicals will do that. To me, that's an interesting little channel right there. That's an interesting volume little moment too, right? You can say that that's a little bit like, you know, sustainable growth. To me, that's a little, I'm not using the word pump and dump. That's not what I think this is just yet, right? But that's a big outlier from yesterday, right? And again, on Tilray, that's a pretty big outlier from yesterday, right? So the technical gap was there. You break the 20, you go to the 50, you break this resistance, you can go up. A lot of just red, green, right? So it makes sense on this move with this volume. The question is it going to be able to come back and do it tomorrow? And again, I'll give you my thoughts on all that shortly, right? When we look at ACB, this is another one. And hey, this one might be a contender for what is the bullish outlier. Again, it still needs to confirm, right? We were down here not that many days ago, and literally yesterday, all of a sudden we're over all 5 moving averages. And today, you can arguably say breaks at least 3, maybe even 4 lines, right? So interesting here. Again, the same kind of story. Our volume was all the way down here. All of a sudden, we're all the way up here. Not quite pump and dump, but hey, is it going to confirm, right? When we look at SNDL, this is another one that you can consider the bullish outlier, right? Again, just like ACB, we at least had a couple moving averages taken care of, but not as many, right? All of a sudden, we're above all. That's clearly different. Sorry, not ACB. That's clearly different than CGC, which is under a couple of them, but that's an interesting little channel right there, which I'll obviously get to in a little bit, right? And then Tilray again, which is under a couple of them, right? So we've looked at 4, 2 of them are at least over all 5, and that's where I start thinking to myself, okay, maybe those are going to be the outliers, right? From there, not MSOS. MSOS, this is a little bit on the interesting side, right? We're in the middle, and actually arguably a little bit higher than the middle of a really good channel, right? Like from down here to up here, from this line to this line, that's a lovely channel, right? And we filled most of it. Are we going to continue and go there? Maybe, right? It's not necessarily over all 5, but this is a nice channel path, and that's an interesting consideration, right? So I'm not going to cover high tide on this one. That's not really my plan. I just went pretty in depth in it, but my goodness, I can't believe we wicked the top of this channel essentially, right? Excuse me, my lines aren't here for perfect. I think this one says that it was, yeah, you can see it's 3.15. It's the second to last line. I think the high of the day was, only a couple pennies. I'm not even going to look into it, right? But this is breaking all, this is making channel moves, and hopefully we're going to see that on those other ones, right? So that's at least just a quick review of all of them, and kind of what I think of the how I would rate them across these, right? So now I'm going to kind of go over my thoughts for tomorrow up and down like I normally do. I think I'll chapter that right here at 10:20. So look, Tilray, if you did not catch today, personally, I'll say this. Between Tilray and CGC, I think CGC was the safer trade. And again, there's no such thing as safe, believe me when I say that, right? But CGC was making its way up. I obviously would not say that confirmed the 20 by any means, but really twofold. Once we got over even that, like once we got into this little candle right here, you could have probably attacked this thing around 440 if you really wanted to. You could have waited till 445 till that broke, and all of a sudden we got into this red, 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 green, green, red, 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 green, green, red, red, red. All of a sudden, green, 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 right? I'm telling you, I love this stuff. I really do. And oh man, there's so much. Whatever, you get what I'm saying, right? This had a little bit more of a there's room to run, and it was able to run and then some. You know what I mean? Tilray, in my opinion, look, you can say that the distance from the 8 to the 20 wasn't that bad. Once it got over the 20, it actually wicks. You can see the wick kisses that red line, right? So it goes from that channel to that channel, then all of a sudden from that channel to that channel with the red, 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 red all along the way, right? So, for some, hey, maybe this was the better one because they're more comfortable with it, and arguably they both kind of have that same decent channel, red, red, red slope, right? But yeah, to me, I like that CGC setup just because it was so much more open, right? If you did not get into Tilray today, personally, I would wait for this. I would wait for 177. Look, it's really hard to get over a single moving average, let alone 2 moving averages, right? The 50 and the 100 are right there. And again, these 3 are significantly difficult and get more difficult as you go up, right? So 2 of those 3, that's a tough wall right there for sure. And again, it makes sense that that's where we wicked and we cooled off, right? There's also a little bit of a horizontal. Oh no, we're not even there. Is it here? Kind of. Nice. Not too bad. Whatever. Just the channels here. Personally, that's what I would do, right? If we can get over that 177, maybe call it 178 just to feel a little more comfortable. I think there's a nice ride all the way up to 185 right there. If this can break 185, that can start looking good. And really, I think I can lower this line. Look, I've been lowering my top resistance as this 200 goes down. For the longest time, that 200 line was just, horizontal to say the least, right? So it was just living in that $2 range. As it goes lower and lower and lower, yeah, I'm gonna lower my line because I feel a little more comfortable. I think we can start here. That's not bad. That's the top of that right there too. Look at this thing. If we break 193, green, 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 red, 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 green, green, red, red, green, green, red, red, and then a whole lot of nothing for what could be a beautiful elevator right up. I'll actually set a 195. I'll do 196. Why not? I'll take 196. A couple pennies above that. I really like Tilray over 193. I think you can make arguments about that 177, 178, something like that. If this is to not continue and not confirm, I can easily see us coming down to 165, maybe even this 162 line, all right? The critical factor is going to be volume, all right? As I zoom out, you can kind of see it. We get a good pop and then a drop, good pop and then a drop. It all dropped right there, right? Good pop, drop, good pop, drop, good pop, drop, good pop. Like, this was a good pop. For sure it was. Don't freeze on me, baby. Did you freeze on me? Let me pause this thing. I got to reset. Nope, it didn't. Good. Yay. All right, perfect. right? I need volume to hold. I realize that the 50-day line is here. I can't have like the lowest acceptable volume is going to be that 44 million line. All right, where's my little calculator? If I need 44 million shares in a 7-hour trading day, I need at least let's call it 6.3 million shares in the first hour. Let's just round up to 13 in that second hour, right? We need at least 13 million shares by the second hour to feel comfortable with Tilray. Truth be told, right? I need about, give me at least 10% more. Give me 56 million shares in a 7-hour day. Oh, that's cleanly divisible. That took me way too long. 8 million is what we're looking for. 16 is actually a real good number if we can get that 16 million, right? So get me 16 million shares in 2 hours and that could get me thinking we're going to battle the 200. Look, we've battled and battled and battled. Earnings hurt us. Battled and battled. Maybe it was right there. I don't remember. We've been battling that 200 moving average literally the entirety of this year. There was a 2-month window, a couple weeks right there. We'll call it a 1-month window, and then all of these last couple months, right? But for most of the year, we've been at, over, or near this purple line. Come on. Just, you gotta make me believe, right? That's essentially what we're looking for. With CGC, the issue with this is, okay, the issue with this is, as nice as it was to ride the red, green, 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 we could be coming back down real fast to like, I think here-ish. I think 467. Let's call it $4.70, give or take. That's actually not too bad a drop. Just kind of looking at some quick math in my head. But I can see us easily coming down a half, if not all the way down here. But I think that's a little extreme. Maybe we'd be able to say that we kind of recovered that. But really, look, the play here is break this 50 and run to the 100. Right? You're talking about basically going from $5 to $6 roughly. That's another 20%, right? But you're adding another dollar, or you have 5 of them, right? So, is there a good green candle? I can't even use a good green candle. Get out of here. Where are we? Give me a second. I'm trying to find a good line to draw. Oh, we're all the way up here. What's your high of the day? You're 504. What were you? 514. Look, between 504 and 514 is essentially what we're looking for. I'll set a 507. We'll do something right in the middle of that. Why not? I think that's going to be an interesting play because, again, look at it. Red could be a nice green. MACD's not quite positive, but you got the good divergence there. Again, it's all about... This was 3 million shares yesterday. All of a sudden it decides to go 6x today, right? That's a big jump. Believe me, I've seen 20x silliness. I've seen 50x silliness that I just know is not going to get repeated. 6x is in the ballpark of being replicatable. You can do it again. I got grammar. I got to learn some. I got to go to dictionary.com, see Webster, what that word is right there. But like, I don't think we're going to 6x tomorrow, right? But can we at least maintain? That's what I'm looking for. I want, what's 10%? Let's add 2 right there. 21. I'm going a little more aggressive. I want 21 million shares in a 7-hour day. I hope you know what the number is going to be once I click enter. We need at least 3 million shares traded in the first hour, 6 million shares in that second hour, all right? Ooh, I'm losing my voice. We're already at 18 minutes. Get out of here. I got to go a little faster, all right? But that's what we're looking for. Up, we might fail down. Oh, I need water. I got to pause this. Sorry. Ooh. Okay, cool. It's actually a good place to chapter ACB and SNDL. So ACB and SNDL have the ability of the catch should be a little bit higher. Again, it should be very difficult to lose these two lines. And I would put I don't think it's going to go any lower than like 590 right here. And that's, again, not that bad in terms of a risk reward, because look at what's above that, right? An amazing channel from here to here. I don't know what that percentage is top of the head, but again, MACD looks nice. RSI looks nice. what was it here? This was a little bit closer to like a 4x, right? We basically went from 500 to 2 million, 4x, 5x, give or take, right? So, a little less of a volume jump than CGC if you just saw that. And again, that's not too bad a thing. And really, this was the first real nice break of the 50 in a good while for ACB. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. I really like the earnings. The earnings on this candle, maybe even this candle, I don't really remember. It was good. I was really surprised that after earnings, we came all the way down to the last moving average. I am glad that it made this little recovery. Again, not everything's perfect, right? But I generally assume good earnings have a good follow through after. And yeah, it was a little surprising to see this downtrend, but I'm glad that it's kind of trying at least, right? Like with the rest of the sector. So again, to me, I think 590 is your low point. If you lose 590, it actually might be a real fast fall to 560, but I really don't think that that should happen, all right? If you can break this candle right here, $6.22, I love that actually. Break 622, and I think there's a real good shot at basically 740. That's lovely right there. And again, just look at all that red, green, fast, up and down, right? So ACB, I like the earnings we just had. I like this setup. It's very much echoed by SNDL. The one thing is the drop from up here all the way down here seems a little bigger. So that might give ACB just a little bit more of an advantage on SNDL, and maybe that's what makes that one the bullish outlier. But hey, we seemingly should not go any lower than 206. All right, that's a very good two moving average point, right? I don't quite know if we're like we got over this 210 line, right? I'm not too sure if we're going to use it as support. Why I kind of hesitated a little bit is I was just looking at this. That's a big candle that took a lot of moving averages, and that wasn't good enough for that confirmation. But we've seen ourselves up here before, and I think that's where I was like, all right, maybe we can say we have some sort of like advantage on this 210, but I think I have to go with this 206, 207. Yeah, we'll call it 207. Again, only a couple pennies. I don't think that's a significant percentage difference, right? But I don't know if I'm willing to say that that's a legit support. I feel comfortable saying that is, right? We are in a nice channel, right? I probably could draw a line right there at 241. I didn't because, again, just to me, it's a lot of fast up, down, and you know I love that so much, right? But we could see a run to the 290s here, $2.90. Again, I think it's worth keeping an eye on around 240, give or take. I think that's a realistic resistance, 240, between 240 and 245, something like that. But SNDL and ACB I do like a lot. And then I'll end it with MSOS. And one thing I said earlier, again, this is a nice channel we're in. You break the 100, you're going to make me believe you've gone to the 200. If this fails tomorrow, it'll probably come down to 740. Ideally, we make that move up to 812, right? Looking at TrueLeaf, where's TrueLeaf at? I've liked TrueLeaf. Oh my gosh, look at that TrueLeaf candle. I've liked TrueLeaf. I actually ended the high tide video, give or take, giving this one love. So this thing's been doing really well, and I said it on the last MSOS video. It was actually the other top holdings that were bringing MSOS down because TrueLeaf's been doing the job. It's been bouncing on the 8 and the 20 like a champion. It broke all 5 and ran, right? Like, this is beautiful. You go from $10 to $13. That's a 30% move. That's some good return right there, right? So TrueLeaf has been doing this while MSOS has not, right? And for that to happen, that would have to mean CURLF, right? It was just living flat. All of a sudden, this is nice. All of a sudden, this is making me think the same thing that it's making me think on MSOS, right? Get over that 100 so we can make a monster run all the way there, right? Look at that red right behind it, right? Cresco Labs, sorry. Oof. Interesting. Again, a lot of moving averages just broke right now, but clearly this was going down. This was bringing MSOS down, right? All of a sudden, we're thinking the same thing. The same MSOS setup of the 100 and 200 seems to now be echoed on these other ones that we're starting to look at, right? So again, the ETF is nothing more than just the average of the top holdings, right? And if you go do a quick Google search, it is super easy to look at it, right? Verano is the last one that I usually look at. Oh man, yo, keep an eye on Verano. That's a very lovely distance from down there to down up here. That looks like a 33% move right there. MACD is actually positive with the green over red. RSI also. Just volume needs to hold. Again, we've seen it actually kind of do it a little bit, but these bigger ones dump. I don't know if this was a bigger one or not, but it's an interesting doji and a lovely 30% channel right there. There was a request to add green thumb, so this will be the other one. And again, let me know if there's others that I should. But yeah, look at that. The exact same MSOS setup. That actually very much makes me believe in that the comment was correct, that this is a big holding in it. Because again, the MSOS setup of trying to get over the 100, getting closer to the 200, that's kind of the average, right? We saw TrueLeaf just crushing it and way over. We saw a couple just under the 100, just over the 100, and then kind of on their way as well, right? So all that blends into this weighted ETF that has it somewhere in the middle of that, right? And again, positive MACD, not a bad RSI, and it's all about the volume again, right? So real interesting movement in the sector. Let me know if there's anything I missed in news. Otherwise, to me, this was just kind of a technical move, right? Like, I'm not here assuming someone knows something, right? I think that's a dangerous way of moving your money. Believe me, I used to move my money like that, and I got burned a little bit more than I won, right? But if more comes, let the technicals, let the lines kind of guide the movement, right? So kind of a long video, but hey, I appreciate you so much.